Hi, this is Ryan Jarman from The Cribs, and you're keeping it real with Leeza London.
I'm with Ryan Jarman from The Cribs, who just played on the main stage at Just Like Heaven Festival, and we're going to have a little chat. Who do you have on your bucket list now to work with as a producer?
I'm not sure. We've kind of ticked off a lot of the people that we actually, whose records we really liked. A lot of them have been, we've worked with a lot of them, so honestly, ideally, my favourite thing would be when we first started, we had our own studio, and it was like super junky and just in like an old mill. And I listened to
Wakefield.
In Wakefield, nice. Yeah. This was long before we had a record deal or any of that bullshit. But it's like I listened back to those recordings now, and I think that's when we sounded best. So I would like to set that up again, even though it's like probably like £500 worth of equipment, just in like an abandoned mill or whatever. But something about that sounded best to me, so I would like to try and set something up like that,
That'd be great. I mean, I'm hoping that those abandoned mills are still there and they haven't been turned into luxury condos.
No, but they have, though. Like, the one that we were in, the reason that we're not there anymore is it got torn down and turned into a bougie,
I knew it, like a hotel or whatever.
Well, I think that it's called Luxury Riverside Living in Wakefield, I mean, there's a bit of a paradox there, but
well, explain to people where Wakefield is. I know where it is because my husband's from Huddersfield. Actually, he's from Cleckheaton, which is even tinier. And his dad had a mill as well, and he was in a band, and he used to, exactly the same story that you're saying. He had the exact same situation as well.
That is a classic thing in the north of England, because there's a lot of, if you were on a river or a canal, there would be loads of huge, I think there were cotton mills originally, and they've just stood derelict for years, so that was the cheap place to rent for bands to use as a rehearsal room. I know Cleckheaton and Huddersfield well, by the way. My dad's from Huddersfield, so so we had this, we rented this a huge space out really cheap. I mean, it was inhospitable under any other reason, under any other circumstances, but Wakefield's it's kind of an industrial town in the north of England. It was a mining town originally. When I was a kid, I remember all the mines got closed down under Thatcher's government, and it went from being, I don't remember much about it, but I remember growing up there, it was a very angry city to grow up in, you know what I mean? It was its economy had been decimated when maybe I was 5 years old, so my youth up through my teenage years was that's just what you got to acclimatise to, walking around the town with guitars. You were getting beaten up, you know what I mean? You weren't getting people weren't just giving you hassle in the streets. You were getting
attacked.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned you worked in a factory. Were you saying people working in factories, or did you actually work in a factory?
Yeah, well, we were a working class family, so I left school and I went to college. I went to college to do music production, but a lot of the stuff they were teaching me, I was already doing it anyway at our studio, so I thought it was a waste of time. So I did what anyone else that's just left school does. I went and worked in the factory, and I honestly, I wouldn't change a thing. It was there was a lot of banter or ribbing or whatever. People probably call it something a bit harsher than that these days, because it was they would pick on you and make fun of you. But I wouldn't change a thing about it, because it's given us a really strong work ethic. We all three of us worked in the same factory.
And you're all three brothers. Yeah. Everyone in the band are brothers. Do you think that that's kept you guys together?
Definitely. I think if we were in a band with anyone else, we would have probably especially when each of us have gone through our own harsh times. I think there's no way we would still be going now if we wouldn't. Maybe we'd be reuniting for megabucks though. So it's
like Oasis.
Yeah.
Some of the brother relationships don't work out, but yours seems to have.
Yeah, it's pretty tight. I mean, I think that, but I'm sure it was the same for those guys. Really, that if you're into music, you end up feeling it's just you against the world, because a lot of people don't share the same. I think it's sad with Oasis that they had that rub there. You know what I mean? Because I think that the relationship that we have as brothers it's like we've always had it. It's like us three against everyone else. Even though sometimes that has worked to our disadvantage because not everyone is against you. You know what I mean? But like we've always kind of felt that like we don't really trust anyone outside the DNA. You know.
All right. So what is your immediate next? Okay, you're doing the tour obviously with Modest Mouse, and you're going to be in Denver. But you're planning on working some more. But anything solid that's booked for the future aside from the tour?
Well, we've got a few festivals in the UK, so we'll get those done at the end of this summer. And
are you doing Glastonbury?
We're not doing Glastonbury, actually. No, I mean, a lot of those festivals are going really pop nowadays. You know what I mean? Unless you do stuff on backing. Well, I don't know. I mean, I know that a lot of the bigger festivals in the UK, like the ones that I used to go to as a kid, have definitely pivoted towards a more like pop kind of sound. But we're going to do that, and then since we got our rights back, we're going to reissue like the first 3 records, and we found like when we got all the tapes back, we went through and we found loads of songs that like we'd recorded like during that whole period that we had completely forgotten about. Like they were like
it was 20 years ago.
20 years ago, yeah. But the thing is, like 20 years ago, we were touring so much. And we were being pulled in so many different directions. We got all these old analog tapes back, and we put them on the tape machine because we wanted to transfer, do like a remaster. And there were so many songs on there that we had literally no idea existed. So
or even remember recording, right?
Yeah, no, we didn't remember recording them at all. They were familiar when we heard them, but it was like to us it was brand new stuff. So we're gonna do like. We're going to reissue the first 3 records and do like a box set with all this extra material on. So yeah, we're going to milk the whole nostalgia thing.
Excellent, I love it.
We're going to milk the whole nostalgia thing while we can do it, So.
Brilliant. Okay, well, thank you for taking time to talk to me. And again, I enjoyed your set. And are you going to stick around and watch anything else today?
Yeah, so. We've got like Modest Mouse are playing. Obviously, we're on tour with those guys, so it would be rude not to. But we have to get on the road to Denver pretty soon. But I know that like the Franz guys and the Block Party guys are here, and like we've obviously known those guys for years. So we'll definitely see those guys and try and stick around to see the sets as well. But I don't know. Someone's going to crack the whip pretty soon, and I don't know what time we're going to leave. So. All
right. Well, again, thanks for taking the time to talk to me. It's nice to see you. I know I saw you 20 years ago, and we had a little chat, but it's nice to catch up, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Nice to see you again.
Thanks.